A civil lawsuit alleges rapper Jay-Z a 13-year-old girl back in 2000.
To the bombshell accusation against Jay-Z, a woman claiming the hip-hop mogul joined Sean Diddy Combs in her when she was just 13 years old.
He became someone that I didn't know due to greed, lust, power.
It's like JLo was like his ex-girlfriend, and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
The music industry is ablaze with controversy as new legal documents emerge, implicating none other than Jay-Z and Diddy in what some are calling a heinous crime of the decade.
This girl was taken to Diddy's house. She was given a drink that made her feel woozy. And then Diddy and Jay-Z ran a train on her when she was 13 years old.
But the real twist? The lawsuit mentions an unnamed woman who allegedly witnessed everything, and the whispers are getting louder.
But not include the mystery female.
Correct.
Who, I mean, people are still asking, who is she and why aren't you putting her name in there if you put the other names in?
Now, two of the biggest names in music, Mary J. Blige and Jennifer Lopez, are being dragged into the swirling storm. Could Mary J. Blige and JLo really be caught in the crossfire of a secret too dark to reveal? Or is it all just smoke and mirrors? Let's find out. The allegations against Diddy and Jay-Z have rocked the music industry, with details so disturbing they've left fans and insiders alike reeling. According to a lawsuit filed by Jane Doe, the two music giants allegedly committed inappropriate actions against a 13-year-old girl during an after-party for the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards, a night that has now taken on a much darker legacy.
The lawsuit was originally filed against Sean Diddy Combs back in October, then refiled on Sunday to add Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter.
The complaint states that Jane Doe was lured to the after-party by a limousine driver who claimed to work for Diddy. The driver reportedly told her that the hip-hop mogul liked younger girls, a chilling statement that casts an ominous light on his public image. Upon arrival, she was asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement and handed a drink she believes was drugged. The plaintiff alleges that Combs approached her with a crazed look in his eyes and said, "You are ready to party," before throwing her against a wall and then threw her on the bed. Jay-Z is accused of removing her clothes and R-ing her while Combs and the female celebrity watched. After Carter finished, Combs allegedly R-ed her as well. Jane Doe is seeking unspecified damages, and her attorney Tony Buzbee has announced that he represents over 100 people accusing Combs of misconduct.
The plaintiff, identified as Jane Doe, says she was by both men at a Video Music Awards after party.
The amended complaint was filed on December 8th, and Jay-Z has publicly defended himself against the allegations, stating that the heinous claims will affect his family. "My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people," he stated. "I mourn yet another loss of innocence." Mr. Carter deserves to know the identity of the person who is effectively accusing him in sensationalized publicity hunting fashion of criminal conduct, demanding massive financial compensation and tarnishing a reputation earned over decades. Jay-Z's lawyer Alex Spiro stated in a court filing, "What allegedly followed is a harrowing account of Diddy and Jay-Z's behavior, with Jane Doe claiming they took advantage of her while a female celebrity stood by and watched. The 2000 MTV VMAs was a night of unforgettable moments, not least because of Diddy and Jennifer Lopez's iconic red carpet entrance. JLo stunned the world in her now legendary white ensemble, paired with a chic bandana and dazzling diamonds, while Diddy complimented her in his signature suave style. Their chemistry and fashion choices dominated the headlines, cementing their status as a power couple in the entertainment world.
Somebody interviewing?
Oh, no, you're going to continue on for interviews, right?
I want to do the pre-show from here.
But behind the glamour and flashing cameras, the lawsuit paints a horrifying picture of what allegedly happened after the awards show. Just hours after stealing the spotlight on the red carpet, Diddy and Jay-Z are accused of hosting an after-party where the night took a sinister turn. One of the most explosive aspects of the lawsuit is the claim that a female celebrity watched the alleged incident without intervening. While the lawsuit does not name this woman, speculation has been rampant online. Two names that keep surfacing are Mary J. Blige and Jennifer Lopez, both of whom shared close ties with Diddy and Jay-Z during this period.
She claimed Diddy and an unnamed celebrity proceeded to her while an unnamed female watched.
Jennifer Lopez, who was romantically involved with Diddy in 2000, was not just his girlfriend but also a central figure in his personal and professional life. The couple was frequently seen together, and JLo's presence at the VMAs that year was a key part of the show's buzz. Could she have been at the after party? And if so, what did she see? While Diddy's parties have been legendary for their excess and elite guest lists, could Lopez have played a more significant role than just a +1? Insiders have long hinted that her relationship with Diddy was more than a headline-grabbing romance. It was a partnership that helped propel her career into the stratosphere. If these parties were as outrageous and influential as Marlon's hints suggest, then Lopez's name appearing on such a list wouldn't be just gossip. It could shake up her polished image.
So in the lawsuit, there is, they name a third accomplice who's in the room.
Around March, rumors circulated that Jen was implicated in some of the crimes, particularly concerning the incident where Natanya Rubin, who was deeply involved, was injured. She has expressed her desire to have the bullet fragments removed from her face for ballistics evidence, indicating her willingness to reopen the case. Natanya Rubin says she is willing to have doctors remove a piece of a bullet that remains in her face to prove Sean Diddy Combs shot her at a New York club in 1999. I'm willing to have a doctor remove a part of the 9mm bullet in my face so that they can use it as evidence if need be for this trial, Rubin said on News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas Reports. Even if it means risking her life, Natan also claimed that JLo outright lied to the jury, suggesting that she should be investigated alongside Diddy.
We all had to go and speak at the grand jury. JLo testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened because if that is in fact the case, she carried the in and she lied to.
So when it comes to behaviors in relationships, any relationship is not perfect. However, there were instances that troubled Gene. For example, when they would return to the studio and find a bunch of girls there, Diddy would try to justify it by saying that, as a superstar, he needed lots of female company for his image. But Jennifer Lopez is no stranger to the industry. She's been on major networks, dealt with high-profile individuals, and more. What bothered him was when they would team up on her, discussing these girls disrespectfully. Sometimes he would be caught in the middle and she'd look at him, but he couldn't do much because he was Gene's superior.
And they would try to be disrespectful to her. And I would be put in the middle of that bullshit sometimes. And then she'd be looking at me like, yo, Gene.
According to Gene, there was a situation in the studio where a young lady made a disrespectful comment about Jennifer, implying she wasn't all that. That's where the tensions got up. Jennifer was about to confront her when Puff instructed me to take her home. So he drove her back and she returned to the studio sporting jeans, a ponytail, maybe some Vaseline on her ears and sneakers. She seemed ready for action. When she got back, Puff promptly cleared out the girls.
She came back to the studio and Puff had got them girls out of there. You understand? She act like she was ready to do something.
So this means that JLo and Diddy never had a perfect relationship. But is it only this? Reports have suggested that many weird things happened during their relationship. Navigating former relationships can sometimes be awkward, particularly when ex-partners turn to social media to share heartfelt memes about heartbreak after a breakup. However, Diddy appears to elevate the post-breakup discourse to a different realm. Recent reports indicate that Jennifer Lopez, his ex-girlfriend, is now coming forward to discuss her past relationship with Diddy. There are suggestions that she may also be addressing allegations related to T within the context of their history together. Years later, Jennifer decided to speak about it to Rolling Stone. It was an unfortunate situation, she explained. We were somewhere we shouldn't have been. It was a bad situation. While it may not have been the decisive factor, the arrest and ensuing trial undeniably cast a heavy shadow over the couple's relationship. Diddy expressed the challenges they faced, stating to an outlet, "It's a rough year, and I just want her to be happy." Echoing his sentiments, Jennifer, known as the Jenny from the Block artist, affirmed that the trial had been extremely painful and draining. She said in a show, "The Puffy era was just kind of a crazy, heightened time in my life. He had been in the music business and had all this success. I was just starting and making my first album when I met him. We had this kind of crazy, tumultuous relationship that ended in a bang. While the arrest undeniably strained their relationship, Jennifer emphasizes that it wasn't the sole catalyst for its dissolution. In essence, they were inherently different individuals on divergent paths. Compatibility had been a lingering issue from the beginning, and it became more pronounced when confronted with the pressures of public scrutiny and the challenges posed by Diddy's arrest. In her own words, Jennifer explained, "Our relationship was so in the press that people didn't really take it as a serious relationship. It didn't work out. For me, it was a little more gradual. It wasn't right for me." Despite her love for Diddy, the Bronx singer found it challenging to bridge the gap between their disparate lifestyles. Diddy was inclined towards a vibrant nightlife, frequently heading to clubs, while she preferred a more laid-back and domestic setting. But we all know how Diddy spends his life. All those alleged gay parties may have not remained a secret to JLo. And she may have something about Ben that she should not. And then you hear we all are waiting for their divorce news. But if you've been following recent developments, JLo has been embroiled in several controversies lately, aside from the Diddy scandal. She's been making headlines for less favorable reasons, from her struggling projects to incidents like the Bronx orange drink controversy. Notably, there was an incident captured on camera where she spun chewing gum into her assistant's hand in New York City. Additionally, she has faced criticism for alleged mistreatment of her staff, with fans pointing out recurring negative narratives from former employees. Moreover, Jennifer Lopez has faced renewed scrutiny for appropriating Black culture without adequately acknowledging the Black artists who have contributed to the success of her music. These issues have contributed to a growing sense that things may not be quite right in JLo's world lately.
I think the problem with Jenny from the Block is that they cut my laugh and they kept ad-libs and they turned her vocals like all the way down.
And then Mary J. Blige, on the other hand, has long been considered a close confidant to both Diddy and Jay-Z. Known as the Queen of Hip-Hop Soul, Mary had a deep friendship with the two moguls, often appearing at events with them and collaborating on numerous projects. Her proximity to the accused during this time has led many to question whether she could be the unnamed woman mentioned in the lawsuit. Social media detectives are on overdrive. Many are pointing out that Diddy, Jay-Z, and Mary J. Blige were inseparable during the late 90s and early 2000s, regularly photographed at exclusive parties and events. Certainly, Mary J. Blige and Diddy have a long history. In fact, Diddy even oversaw her first two albums.
And then when I met him, he was the complete opposite. And he was such a good thing for me because I needed what he had.
However, at some point they had a fallout, and Mary J. Blige admitted that it was her fault. She mentioned, "The reason we split up is me not understanding the business the way I needed to understand it at the time," she explained. "He had a label, he had a female artist, he had Biggie, but during the time I was really dogging myself. I was a mess on D. Any smart man or businessman would have moved away from me. It felt like he was becoming distant, but looking back, I now understand why. I wasn't delivering properly. I wasn't taking care of my health, so how can he roll his dice on me?" It might have turned out to be a blessing in disguise that Mary J. didn't sign with Diddy's Bad Boy, but that doesn't mean she was completely free from any issues with Diddy. There have been allegations suggesting that when Mary J. and Diddy were together, she went through some tough times. Mary J. hinted at this on her Amazon documentary, mentioning that there are things she's been through that she'll never reveal. Many people speculate that it's likely connected to her experiences with Diddy and Jay-Z. As of now, Mary J. and Diddy seem to have a close relationship, with Diddy even stating earlier in 2023 that Mary J. Blige is one of the greatest storytellers in R&B history, Combs tells People. She created a lane for women around the world to speak their truth to power, so nobody deserves this success more than her. On her part, Mary J. also talks about Diddy being her bestie and mentor. However, there's speculation about whether all of that is just a cover-up for what she went through during her time with Diddy. Given Diddy's reputation for being manipulative, some people believe that the seemingly affectionate relationship between Mary J. and Diddy might just be a mask for the challenges she faced. In a revealing interview with Rolling Stone, Blige disclosed that Diddy was not only unfaithful during their romantic involvement, but also took credit for her work and manipulated her into signing unfavorable contracts.
My life is probably my darkest album. At one of the darkest times I've had. Most of the times I was just depressed and didn't want to live. I had it all inside.
Blige shared that, back when Diddy was known as Puff Daddy, he lured her in with charm and charisma when she was a young and naive artist. He made promises to elevate her into stardom and shield her from the industry's pitfalls, but instead, he exploited her for financial gain and engaged in infidelity with multiple women.
I didn't know that so many people felt the same way.
She made it okay for people to say it's all right to be me.
Blige shared that her realization came when she discovered Diddy had fathered a child with another woman in 1998. Confronting him, she demanded to end both their personal and professional relationship, but he refused to let her go. He begged me to stay with him. He said he loved me and he would change. He said he needed me and he couldn't do it without me. He said he would give me everything I deserved. Blige recounted. But it was all lies. He didn't want to lose me because I was his golden goose. I was making him millions of dollars. I was his ticket to fame and fortune. Blige recounted her struggle to break free from Diddy's grip, revealing that he made it incredibly challenging for her. She claimed he threatened to sue her, blacklist her, tarnish her reputation, and even physically harm her if she tried to leave him. He was a powerful man in the industry. He had connections everywhere. He had lawyers, bodyguards, hitmen. He had people who would do anything for him, Blige shared. He told me that if I ever left him, he would make sure I never worked again. He told me that if I ever spoke out against him, he would make sure I never lived again. Living in fear for years, Blige finally found the courage and resources to sever ties with Diddy in 2001. She hired new lawyers, managers, and producers to assist her in rebuilding her career and reclaiming her identity.
Something really powerful by inspiring each other to want to live to see another day.
Blige shared that she embarked on a journey of healing by seeking therapy, spiritual guidance, and sobriety to overcome the trauma and inflicted by Diddy. I had to fight for my life. I had to fight for my freedom. I had to fight for my dignity, Blige expressed. I had to overcome the pain, the anger, the betrayal, the addiction, the depression. I had to find myself again. I had to find my voice again. She decided to speak out now, hoping to share her side of the story and inspire other women facing similar situations. Blige expressed her desire to expose Diddy for who he truly is, a fraud, a manipulator, and a predator. He's not the genius that he claims to be. He's not the visionary that he pretends to be. He's not the mogul that he wants to be, Blige asserted. He's a parasite. He's a leech. He's a monster. Blige emphasized that she holds no regrets about her past collaboration with Diddy, acknowledging that the experience contributed to her growth as both an artist and an individual. She expressed pride in the music they created together and its lasting impact on the culture. Blige also conveyed gratitude to her supportive fans, acknowledging the respect she received from peers for her talent and integrity. Content with her current position in life and career, she described herself as a legend, an icon, and a queen. I don't hate him. I don't love him. I don't need him, Blige stated regarding Diddy. I forgive him. Kim Porter was apparently working on a book before her untimely passing, and it's said to drop some serious tea, including hints about Mary J. Blige. This book, which has been talked about a lot, dives deep into Kim's life and touches on some jaw-dropping moments. For starters, it reportedly spills details about Kim doing some unusual things to keep Diddy happy, mixed with moments where she was left crying alone in heartbreak. It also paints a picture of Kim stepping in to protect Al B, sure from awkward run-ins with Diddy, warning him about certain places, and even intervening when needed. Then there's the part that goes into the East Coast versus West Coast beef. The book suggests there were some shady plans behind the deaths of Tupac and Biggie, claiming it was all about controlling their music rights. Apparently, Tupac and Biggie were planning to team up and take on Bad Boy and Death Row, but those plans allegedly got shut down in a big, tragic way. And the drama doesn't stop there. The book reportedly uncovers some messy details about Diddy and Mary J. Blige's relationship. It alleges that Mary got pregnant by Diddy but was pressured into terminating the pregnancy, with the claim being that the decision wasn't really hers to make. Diddy supposedly called the shots. To top it all off, Kim Porter's case still hasn't been solved, leaving behind even more questions and theories about everything that went down. So could this be mere coincidence, or does it hint at a deeper, darker connection between the three? One theory that's gaining traction is that the industry's biggest stars may have been part of a tight-knit circle where boundaries were blurred and secrets were fiercely protected. Fans have noted how the lawsuit could bring long-buried truths to light, not just about Diddy, but about the culture of power and privilege that shielded these icons for years. Here's where it gets controversial. Some believe Mary J. Blige's silence on the matter isn't just about self-preservation. It could be about loyalty. Having worked with Diddy during her early career and maintaining a strong professional bond with Jay-Z, Mary may have insights into the dynamics that fueled this trio's meteoric rise. Fans are now questioning if Mary's long-standing allegiance to these two powerhouses means she knows more than she's letting on. Was she a silent witness to questionable behavior, or was she simply caught in the crossfire of an era where loyalty trumped accountability? The questions are piling up, and Mary's lack of comment is only adding fuel to the fire. One person wrote, "I believe Jaguar right. I like Mary, but it sounds about right. After the Cassie event, I can see how Mary took one for the team. She looked like she'd been through a lot, and her face shows it." Another one added, that makes sense why that dancer Rosie and her got into it back on In Living Color. She literally stated that JLo has a way of getting things that I do not agree with. JLo is the kind of woman who will step on whoever to make it to the top. Rosie. The lawsuit raises troubling questions about the culture of silence and complicity within the music industry. If a high-profile female celebrity was present and failed to intervene, what does that say about the power dynamics at play? Fans are demanding answers, not just from Diddy and Jay-Z, but also from those in their inner circle. How much did Jennifer Lopez and Mary J. Blige know about the alleged incidents? Were they aware of Diddy and Jay-Z's behavior, or are they being unfairly implicated because of their closeness to the accused? These are the questions swirling as the public seeks to untangle the web of connections and complicity. As the lawsuit gains traction, the pressure is mounting on everyone involved. Diddy and Jay-Z, both of whom have long been celebrated as trailblazers in the music industry, now face serious accusations that could tarnish their legacies forever. Meanwhile, the specter of the unnamed female celebrity looms large, casting a shadow over the industry's culture of silence and complicity. This scandal is far from over, and as more details emerge, the ripple effects could expose a darker side of the music industry that many have long suspected, but few have dared to confront. For now, the world watches and waits, demanding accountability, and wondering who will break their silence first. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.